hit harder to adjust. There we go. Okay. Part 5 has been in the works for a while. I don't really know why, because it takes absolutely no preparation. Shooting my chair a little bit forward, but I still took a week to do it anyways. But yeah. I'm just gonna announce everything on Instagram and Twitter and stuff for nobody that cares or watches these, but I can't be doing this in the beginning of the video because you guys might actually see it. I don't know why I'm streaming. I'm terrible at this. Okay, so usually I say I'm gonna cut this part of the video out every single time, and then I never cut it out because I don't know how to do it. So yeah, this is just gonna be like in the beginning of the video, me just sitting and talking to nobody. Anyways, you know, if they were gonna show up by now, they're gonna show up, and I don't want to spend more than 2 minutes. I already have. Let's just jump into it. This was the one we were doing. Yeah, it would have to be. Alright, cracking a cold one up on camera because I have a problem, as they call it, where I will get consume a Dr. Pepper in 24 hours. That's what living on my own has done to me. Gotta get a 12-pack a week. Maybe. I don't know why I'm telling all of YouTube this. This is kind of personal stuff, I guess. But screw it. I don't care. I can't talk to cameras.
MJ, what did you find out about Isaac Delaney?
Yeah, I need to figure out.
Which one is Delaney?
Oh, right, the Halloween party.
Guess you'll have to go to the party to find out.
Oh, that reminds me. The title, I'm really proud of that because I came up with it in like maybe a minute, and I think it's really funny because Empire State. Did I call it Empire State University or just Empire State? I don't know. They're both applicable, but it's part 5, so it's an Empire Strikes Back joke. As you can probably tell, I need to switch back to the TASM suit because that's the playthrough this is. There we go. Yeah, it's a Star Wars joke, which I think is funny. And you know, this might be the best one. So. Oh wait, no. It was. Well, I guess the 5th one that was actually made was Attack of the Clones, so this would probably be the worst one, honestly. Which, you know, like. That makes sense. I think my first episode was by far my best because I was just talking about everything all the time then, and it was funny kind of because I, you know, actually had stuff to say. But now here I am, 5 parts into this playthrough, and I don't have anything to talk about.
Halloween party.
I'm kind of depending on the chat in this one, and the chat is not pulling through.
Delaney's dressed as one of my greatest foes. Let's find out which one.
Usually people don't stream until they have like an actual following, because then when they have a following, people will say stuff in the chat, and then they can like actually stream entertainingly. But, you know, I do not have a following because I post nothing but with short films and hour-long live streams days when I run out of things to talk about. But, you know, these streams would probably be a lot better if a lot more people watched them while I was streaming, which they probably would if it wasn't.
Are you Dr. Delaney?
Midnight right now.
My nemesis. You won't catch me this time.
That's about as good as the real Mysterio right there too, by the way.
Whatever will I do?
God, I don't know. Far From Home made Mysterio so cool, and that's like so impressive because Mysterio sucks so much.
Hey, what's wrong with you? I worked on that helmet for a week.
I need to find Dr. Delaney.
He's out in the party somewhere. Who are you?
I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
A wise guy over here. Listen to this guy. Whoa. Sometimes I irritate even me.
Looks okay, I guess.
Spider-Man said, fuck cosplayers. Fuck you and your passions. Holy shit, they got the real Vulture in here? Wait a minute. I'm starting to think that's not the real Vulture.
That guy throwing down candy could be Dr. Delaney.
Hey, what the hell?
Gotta find a way up there.
That was a
I'm
weird...
looking for Isaac Delaney.
What the... What was that parkour?
I think
That
he's
was
on the
weird as
dance
hell.
floor. There he is. The lizard in the lab coat.
You know, it's kind of weird that they're dressing up as these dudes. You know, there's Scorpion there. I guess that implies that he had the Scorpion suit you know, at some point early on in the game continuity. Something with Vulture there. And Mysterio must exist already.
Hey, look, it's Spider-Boy.
And the Rhino, I guess.
We got
maybe later.
had
what's
worn
the
this suit
matter,
too.
Spider-Whip? You afraid of my mighty horn?
Hey, who?
I forgot where I'm going with this.
Come on. Hey, Mike, kick his ass, Spider-Man.
What was I saying?
What the hell? Oh, snap!
Hey. Oh, no way, dude. Same here. I'm live streaming it too. Holy shit.
What do you want?
Oh, that's right. Anyways, in the context of this universe, I guess it's these guys dressing up as like full-on terrorists for Halloween and stuff, which that's kind of weird. I don't think we'd do that here. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe we would. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we would. Maybe we definitely would. If we had supervillains that were real, we would definitely dress up as for Halloween because we have bad taste and are bad people.
Back now.
Oh my god!
Let him go!
And then just got bitched with a gun. Hey! Those things are heavy, by the way. Oh boy!
Keep your head down.
I hope you guys enjoyed my wisecracks. All 12 of them. I'm sure they've worn out their welcome is what I meant to say, and then I changed my mind halfway through, and then I changed my mind again. So I'm sticking with the first one, because that was probably the only one that would have made sense. I'm still working out the kinks of my mind. I don't quite understand how it works, but nobody does. So
Everybody
at least
okay?
we're all in the same boat on that one.
Good. Happy Halloween.
Yay, Halloween. Halloween's pretty nifty. It's not quite as nifty now since I go to conventions and stuff, so like kind of dress like that every 3 months or so. But the one time a year when you get to dress up like a badass or whatever, or you know, whatever you want to call it. I like it. And it's cool when everybody else is dressed too, so it's like, oh, it's like an outdoor convention or something, which is one of the saddest things I think I've said in a while, but hey, I just bring out a whole bookshelf on this man. I guess you get what you paid for at IKEA. Get him out of here! Ow!
And where'd they take Delaney?
I give up. Where did they take Delaney? God, I'm funny. I can't run him. God, I hate the wall crawling in this game. It's so weird. Look at it. Look at me move. That's not normal. It's not a move. That's like, what the hell? That's not how a real person crawls up a wall. But it's just so janky and weird. Like, it's just, the wall crawling felt like it was a total afterthought in this game. It's so buggy and weird. And I have yet to play Miles Morales, so I don't know. Maybe if they like worked the kinks out on that.
Who are you? You recently began working with someone in an Oscorp lab.
How do you know that?
We don't have much time, Isaac. Tell me his name.
Oh.
Show's over, Lee.
Good. I don't know what that.
Apparently the show's not
Ooh, it's crispy in that lighting. Whoa! I don't know why I got like a surprise. I've played this game a dozen times.
His name, Dr. Morgan Michaels.
Morgan Michaels? Like the pseudoscience vampire man?
No!
Morbius is so freaking weird, dude. I don't know why. I don't know why that movie's getting made. I haven't talked about Morbius yet. Shit. I haven't talked about Morbius or Venom yet, but I haven't seen Venom still because I thought it sucked and looked stupid. And I'm not seeing your movie when the tagline is Venom, see the movie. Ooh. See the movie. It's just so awful. iPhone, buy the product. Like, God. And you know, I've seen like clips from Venom, I guess, but like, it basically looks like a shitty Sony movie, which, you know, I was banking on it being, so. It sounds like I saved my money. I think there's a part where Tom Hardy crawls into a lobster tank. I don't know the story behind that, but I saw him climb into a lobster tank in the middle of a crowded restaurant. And that was something else. I never wanted to see it. I still didn't want to see it. And, you know, the Venom villain looked exactly the same. I don't know why the hell they went and Riot. I guess because you gotta set up Carnage or whatever later on. Because you can't just lead in with Carnage. You gotta set him up, because it's gotta be like Thanos. Except, like, Thanos isn't the only fucking, like, Avengers villain, so, like, that can, like, work. But, like, Venom doesn't have any villains, because Venom's a goddamn villain. He's got Carnage, maybe, and he's got Spider-Man. And they can't use Spider-Man.
That's all of them. Gotta find
for
Lee.
some reason. Despite the fact that they own Spider-Man still. I have no idea what they're doing, man. So yeah, they go with Venom, and they're like, we'll make a Venom movie. We're like, okay, whatever. And then they're like, you know what we're doing next? Morbius. I'm like, what? Like... Who gives a... Who gives a shit about, like, Morbius, though, I guess? Like,
gotta stop them from hurting each other.
I don't know anybody who's, like, favorite villain or favorite character or favorite, like, Marvel vampire even is Morbius. Like, who gives a shit about Morbius? He's not even a real vampire. He's like a pseudoscience vampire bullshit thing. Like, who cares? Anyway, like, you know, the only reason I actually might see Morbius this time, not because I think Morbius is interesting at all, but because Michael Keaton's in it as Vulture, apparently.
If it helps, I felt bad doing that.
And, you know, I'm sure the movie will suck and it'll be bad, you know, because it's a Sony movie, and Sony doesn't learn the lessons at all. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be garbage, but you know, it'll be in the MCU, so at least it'll be MCU garbage, kind of. Well,
Yuri, I need your help.
I've got reports of shots fired at ESU.
Yeah, that's me. I'll explain later.
oh.
But right now, you need to find a Dr. Morgan Michaels. Martin Lee's coming after him.
Copy that.
Morgan Michaels is like an alias thing of Michael Morbius, by the way.
Spider-Man, who is this
Whose
Dr.
name is
Michaels?
Michael Morbius.
I think he's the head scientist on this Devil's Breath project. Did you find him?
Yes and no. Sable says they have him under protection at a
I'm
safe
pretty
house
sure
somewhere in
Morgan
the city.
Michaels is an alien.
But
I
they
could be
won't tell me
totally
where.
wrong, and I'm just
thought
talking
you guys
about
were
Morbius
working
for no
together.
fucking reason.
So did I.
Which is, like,
I have
equally
an idea on how to
plausible.
find him. I'll let you know if it works.
I gotta look this up now. Morgan Michaels. Spell Morgan wrong, that's great. Morgan Michaels in Marvel.
Hey, did you find Dr. Delaney at the party?
Or, no, in
Yeah,
did I
but
just
so
say
did
Morgan?
Lee.
Oh no, what happened?
Morgan Michaels
Lee corrupted
in
him and made him
the
kill
Marvel
himself.
universe.
That's horrible. We have to stop this guy.
We will. Before Delaney died, he gave Lee a name. Morgan Michaels.
Morgan Michaels. Who is he?
Not sure, but I bet he works on the Devil's Breath project. Have you learned anything from that Devil's Breath file?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Morgan
get this.
Michaels is an
A few years
alias
ago,
of
Osborn came to
Michael
Fisk and
Morbius,
asked him to build a lab,
which
but
isn't
he was hidden
confusing
from
at all.
regulators.
But
Secret lab? For Devil's Breath?
If it's as dangerous as we think it is,
All,
I can see why.
Where's the lab?
so yeah, in conclusion, Morbius
It's not in the
sucks.
file. Osborn made Fisk destroy
And
all
Jared
records
Leto
of
kind
it.
of sucks
All
too.
I have are invoices from Osborn's
This is
personal account to
Joker.
Fisk Construction. Knowing
It's
Fisk,
not on
he
him.
kept the invoices
I'll give
around
him
for
that.
blackmail material on
Well,
the
not
mayor.
entirely on him.
Everything
It is
leads
on
back
him.
to Norman Osborn.
It's a
time to
lot
pay him a
on him,
visit.
actually. I don't know
I
why I said
doubt
that,
he's
but it's
gonna
also
tell
a
you
lot on
anything.
David Ayer. But,
Wasn't
you know,
planning
David
to
Ayer
ask.
sucks too, so... I don't know why I don't know why I read this shit. Comics are fucking stupid, man. Comics and comic book movies, like, I don't know why I, like, watch or read these things, because I hate half the things that even come out, you know? So, like,
You're scaring the
no, but most of them are garbage. And yet I'm like, yeah, I'm a big fan. You know, I mean, like, you know, like, it just... And I mean, maybe the answer to that is don't make, like, half the fucking Spider-Man movies, like, bad, but, like... or not half of them. Well, I mean, okay, so there's, like... There's what? Okay, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 if you count Venom. I only think 2 of them are bad. Okay, so, yeah, so don't make a quarter of them bad. Don't make 2... Okay, Spider-Man is not the issue when I'm talking about... If the X-Men movies, half of those suck. Make those, like, not suck, and I'd like them probably a lot more. You know, half of Star Wars kind of sucks, too.
Although it's kind of rude you didn't.
Should I honestly just delve into, like, all nerd stuff, or should I, like, try and keep it to Spider-Man? I don't know who I'm talking to, because nobody's watching the stream, but... I don't know, after this is posted in the comments or something, maybe. That's how that works. Let me know if I should talk about all nerd stuff or just Spider-Man. I'm probably going to do all nerd stuff for this one because I'm just running out of things to say.
Okay, That's how I can get into Norman's office.
I'll talk about
Can't
some
get in there without
Spider-Man
shutting
villains,
down
I
some
guess.
security
'cause, like,
systems.
I don't know.
But if they see me, they'll put the whole place on lockdown.
What else you gonna do? I think Shocker sucks.
I should be able to
Well,
hack
the
into the
Shocker
security
can be
network
cool.
modules from the outside.
Sorta. But I think he's way funnier and way more interesting when he sucks. Like, the Ultimate Comics did a really funny version of Shocker, I thought. Where, like, every, like, couple volumes
Just
or
need
so,
to follow them to the security
he'd
module.
fight Shocker, like, at the beginning of, like a story arc or something. And Shocker sucks. And the whole joke is
There we
Shocker
go. A
is a
security
stupid
module.
dude with the vibro gauntlet.
Looks
And
like there's 4 of these
he
around
sucks.
the building. That should
And I
make things
find that
easier.
really funny. What's good, Volley? I'm talking about Shocker right now. I've been streaming for about
Sable Team Alpha standing
20
by.
minutes.
Looks like an electrical problem. Copy that.
Just kind of
Keep an eye on
vibing.
the exterior while we try to track down the issue.
I think it's
Just when I
really
thought it would be
funny
easy.
that Spider-Man treats Shocker as a total joke, by the way, too. I love that. I love that Spider-Man knows like just how to get under people's skin, and he knows like who to get under their skin,
Copy the target
and
spotted.
how to do it really easily. Oh shit! But I love that like immediately when Spider-Man finds out that Shocker's name is Herman Schultz. You guys are 4 days early for my birthday. I thought so, but everybody was saying something. So I was like, I feel like he'd say it by now if we were wrong.
Looks like we
So
have
I
some
guess
sort of
I'm just
software
wrong.
problem. We're calling in a specialist. Copy that. Continuing exterior sweep.
But yes, I shall remember that on the 10th.
There's the
Which
second
is-
module.
5 days from now?
All agents. Someone's taking control of one of our subsystems.
4 days. I had to cheat.
Initiating Delta Protocol.
I can
Everybody's got drones these days.
Anyways, back to Shocker. I love that when Spidey found out that his name is Herman Schultz, he only ever refers to Shocker as Herman.
Like a software issue?
I think that's really funny.
We're evaluating.
And I love that it
Please
pisses
maintain current
Shocker
alert level.
off every time he does it.
Target spotted.
Because, like,
It's
his name's
Spider-Man.
Herman, and Herman sucks. And it's really
Attention all
funny.
Sable teams.
Wait, well, I just getting spotted does that? Wait, shit, I died! That was the first time I've died on stream! Fuck! Man, I wanted to go for no death playthrough, and I'm doing it in this stupid thing I've done a million times.
Exterior sweep
This exact
negative.
sequence was in the
We're all
first
clear.
Spider-Man game on the
Still look like a
PlayStation
software issue?
in like 2000. And I failed this.
Attention all
That was the
Sable
first game I ever
teams.
played in
There's a
my
small possibility we have a
goddamn
trap captor
life.
on site.
And I still haven't gotten it down yet.
Damn it. Another subsystem is going offline.
Fuck that Punisher mission, by the way, man. I hated that shit as a kid.
85th floor exterior. Copy
That game is
control.
so
Bird
cool.
inbound.
I don't know why. I barely even
move.
played it, technically. I usually just get to, like,
Hi, MJ.
this one
We're
mission
busy right
and
now.
then be like, oh shit, I can't,
Listen, I
like,
got a
do
lead
the
on Charles
thing
Standish's
that's hard.
location. I think if I can get to
And
it,
then
I
I
can
just
make
call,
it
like,
talk.
my dad or
He
whoever,
knows
like,
Dr.
help
Delaney.
me.
Probably knows
And then
about
he'd
Morgan
play, like,
Michaels as well.
most of the game
Okay,
in the end.
just
So
don't do
really, it
anything
was just
crazy.
like, I'd
There's
do
the
the
last one.
tutorial, and then make my dad play the game for me, and I'd just watch. Because
Now I can get into Norman's office and hopefully find out
I
more
think the
about
first
Morgan
time
Michaels
I ever
and
felt
Devil's
anything
Breath.
close to anxiety,
Exterior
it
sweep
would have
negative.
been
We
the
go on lockdown?
second
Not
mission
yet.
of that game,
Mr. Osborn is
where you
in the
got the
middle of a
bomb in the bank,
Tracking.
and you got a time limit of 20 minutes. And I don't know why, but I used to be able to, when I was like 3 or 4 years old, I'd be able to go through that mission and just do the whole thing in like maybe 10 minutes. No problem. And then one day, something just clicked in my brain, and I was like, wait, there's a time limit, and it's going down. And then I just couldn't even play the mission because the counting down like timer thing scared the shit out of me.
Auction house.
And
Must be talking
I
about
don't
that
know
file
why,
MJ found.
because I never came anywhere close to
do know
failing
that.
because of that.
Doesn't tell us
But
enough.
it still
Which is why I'm doing some
really
slightly
freaked me
illegal
out.
but morally acceptable B&E right now.
And I have yet to
Jackpot.
figure out how to not get freaked out by that shit. It still pains me to this day.
GR27.
And don't even get me started on
Morgan
Monster
Michaels is
Off.
the chief scientist.
That shit was
but the location of
terrifying.
the lab
It was
is
terrifying
redacted.
as a kid, and it's terrifying now.
AI control
Why the
CRISPR.
fuck is there a fucking
That actually
PowerPoint
works.
here of just
could
the
cure
whole
any
evil
genetic
plan?
disease.
This game is
Cystic
awesome.
fibrosis,
What the
Huntington's?
fuck is
This is
this,
crazy.
though? Who wrote this? Somebody did, and it's stupid. What the fuck?
Creepy.
Ah, that's nice. That's a real photo.
Whoa. GR27 is Devil's Breath. It's designed to cure diseases, but in its current form, it's like a bioweapon. Dr. Michaels keeps the only sample with him at all times.
Fun fact,
That's
Devil's
why Lee
Breath
wants
was
it.
started by a
We
guy
find Michaels,
eating
we
a
find Devil's
bat. That's enough. The PowerPoint. Ever played the 2002 PS2 Spider-Man game? I did. I've played, I think, all the Spider-Man games on console. I don't know if I've completed all of them. All of them on like on the main, like the handhelds I haven't really done or anything. All the main console entries I think I've played.
Hey, Pete. What's up?
I never
MJ,
completed
get this. Devil's Breath wasn't designed to be a weapon.
Spider-Man
It's a
2
treatment
Enter
for genetic
Electro
disorders,
as a kid, though.
but its current form is wildly imperfect. In trying to fix the body,
I completed
it rips
Spider-Man
it apart.
2000 on the PlayStation 1.
We need to locate Dr. Michaels.
That was a really fun game.
I don't trust Sable to contain
And
something
it's
this
like,
deadly.
oh, this is the Marvel Universe from 2000. So Spider-Man's like
She's being held at Sable's
30,
Central Park compound.
and you know he's married, and
CFO.
he's friends with the Human Torch, and you can see him
Reach
on
him?
the Baxter Building,
That place
and
is
you
crawling
can
with
like
guards.
talk to Venom,
How are you
and
trying
you
to
see
reach him?
Captain America, and a bunch of
quietly.
these dudes
Gotta
all
go,
in the
partner.
game, because it was
Sneaking
like,
into a Sable
oh
compound.
yeah, it's
That could go bad
Spider-Man.
fast. I should head up to Central
We don't
Park.
really give a shit about the rights because it's all Marvel and it's 2000. So yeah, Wolverine was just like, wait, was Wolverine in that game?
Attention all units.
I don't
Assault
recall.
reported in progress. Officers near Vanderbilt, be advised.
They reference a lot of heroes though, and that's really cool.
Looks
I
like
remember
Doc
Captain
checked
America's in the game because Venom asks for his autograph. That's another thing. Venom's a total goofball in that game, and I think it's really funny. He's just so goofy and just weird, and I think it's so funny. Everybody's always like, Venom's dark and dangerous and strong and awesome. And if you read like the comics from like when Venom was around and shit, he's the goofiest, like, biggest fucking cheese ball there is, and it's so painful and yet funny.
Crap.
I don't like Venom. I think Eddie Brock sucks. He's just so fucking, god damn it, an MJ mission again.
Reach him. That place is crawling. God damn it.
Very, very quietly. Gotta go, partner.
So yeah, Spider-Man 1 is good. Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro was that came out in 2002, I think, or something, or it might have been no, it was 2001 because they had to delay the game because the final battle of the game took place on the top of the World Trade Center, and they had to heavily edit the game shortly before release because of 9/11. And that was fun. I wasn't even alive when that happened, so it didn't.
Gotta move. Now.
I don't know too much about it.
Gonna check on our
The game, not 9/11. I know of 9/11. I know it's a thing. I know what happened.
He's here somewhere.
Where was I talking about before I started talking about 9/11 for some reason? Oh yeah. Enter Electro's fun, I guess. It's not made by Neversoft, who made the first games, and the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, which are also fucking awesome.
Demons are killing
Total
anyone related
poggers.
to Devil's Breath. Standish is in real
And then,
danger.
like 6 months after that game came out, Spider-Man the movie and the movie tie-in game came out.
Time to move.
And that's what everybody remembers because it was like, you know, oh, here's Spider-Man Enter Electro, and it's the sequel to the first game.
I've got to get to that tent.
It's like the same game with a different story and a couple new villains. It's made by a shittier developer, I guess, and the new game comes out in like maybe 6 months. So yeah, nobody really played Enter Electro that much. Everybody just kind of waited for the movie game to come out. And I did play the movie game. I remember vividly getting the movie game on PlayStation 2 for Christmas when I was like maybe 5 years old or something. 4 or 5. I remember playing it on like one of those big ass box TVs as a kid. I got it for Christmas and everything. It was really cool. And you know, that's still a fun game. Hard as hell though, by the way. The goddamn stealth. The stealth in that game. It's like, it's the same shit with the early Assassin's Creed games where it's like, yeah, here's a stealth sequence. And there's a lot of them in this game. And there's no stealth moves or takedowns or even a fucking crouch button in this game. It's like only combat moves and it's full of stealth for no reason. There was some Oscorp missions in that game. Pissed me off. They sucked. I hated them. At the end of the day, I just put the cheat code in and skipped to the end of the game. That was cool. And you could like fucking play as Green Goblin once you beat the game. You play as Green Goblin through the whole campaign, and it was like a full on like, oh no, like it's not just like Green Goblin. Like he's got his like, it's not even like, oh, it's a Green Goblin skin. That's cool. It's like full on like, oh no, like you don't web swing in this. Now you get the fucking glider, and you can like super speed run around, which isn't a thing he can do, but you know, fuck it, it's a video game. It was fun.
Looks important.
So yeah, the whole game is like Green Goblin shit. You can fly around, you fight other Green Goblin, and they like distort his voice and give him like the Alex Ross design suit, which was also really cool. Because Alex Ross designed a suit for the movie that you can unlock in the game as an alternate costume, and if you put it on, you also get the alternate design he had for the Green Goblin for the movie, which is really cool.
Might have something, Control. Stand by.
So yeah, Spider-Man 2002 came out. That game was awesome. Kind of. They wanted to do a lot more than what they did for that game, but they were like, we got to get the game out soon. So they're like, all right, we'll just upgrade what we have from the first game. So instead of like only being able to web swing twice, you get like unlimited web swings, but they go straight up into the sky still, and it looks fucking weird.
Might have something, Control. Stand by.
And you know, the combat's still the same old.
Got a partial visual.
Resuming to control. Okay, there we go. But yeah, all this stuff they were like working on ended up going to Spider-Man 2. And you know, that movie comes out and everybody's like, it's the greatest movie ever or whatever. Just kidding. Only Twitter does that now.
Charles Standish?
Fucking don't get me started on that. You know how I feel about Twitter.
Where is Dr. Morgan Michaels?
And the PS2 game comes out, and it's like fucking nuts, because it's just like, you know, you're playing Spider-Man, and you're like, okay, you go around, go to the rooftop, punch the guy on the roof, and then you go over and do whatever. But like,
I'm not with the demons.
Fuck it, you're in New York now, and like pushing R2 doesn't like engage the web swinging, and you just do the thing. It's like pulling R2 will like shoot out a web, and you got to jump off of it, and then you got to push it again, and you'll shoot out another one, and you don't even have to jump off. You can just shoot another one, and you like shoot a second. She has Michaels in the Bowery. Crazy stuff, and it's like way cooler because it's like actually doing stuff. It's super dynamic and everything. The story's well done. It's a good movie. They make solid changes.
What do the demons need
and
to get
then they also like, you know, here's more shit. Like, fuck it. Here's like a whole Mysterio segment in this game. He comes out like 3 different times. And Mysterio is awesome in that game.
Sorry, Charlie.
And by awesome, I mean sucks. But he's a good. It's a good sucks. He's I'm just talking over this really important scene. MJ's gonna get mad. Uh-oh. Boy, Pete's in the doghouse now, dude. I'm way too loud for it to be fucking 12:30 right now. What was I saying? That's right.
That was maybe the most awkward swing of my life. MJ is not happy.
MJ is not happy. That's always a great thing. And then, so Spider-Man 2, the game is bitchin', and the combat's awesome, and you can throw people off buildings in the game. Straight up kill them. Like there's no, they didn't give a shit back then, man.
Where's a tension breaker?
attention
you could
drinker,
straight up
right?
just like, oh yeah,
You know, this is
like we'll
exactly
go up
why
on
we
top of
broke
this
up.
roof
thought
and
we
I'll
broke up
grab
so
this
you could
dude,
focus on
and
your
then
career.
from like this height
Broke up
here,
because you
I'll
wanted
just
to
pile
treat me
drive
like a
him
baby. Don't do this,
head
MJ.
first
Don't do
into
that,
the
MJ.
street.
Oh, that's too dangerous,
and
MJ.
he'd die.
I may not have super spider powers, but I'm not made out of glass.
You snuck into the middle of an armed military. You know what? Can we not do this right now, please? Did you learn anything about Dr. Michaels?
Fine. Michaels is in the Bowery somewhere. Sable's moving him tomorrow at noon.
So
Awesome. Anything else?
so yeah,
You
that
saying
was a
something
good
about
game.
Grand Central before I jumped
Really, really innovative and shit.
No, it was nothing.
Then
Listen, I gotta go, Peter.
after
Final
that game,
deadline.
Ultimate Spider-Man comes
Peter.
out.
That's how you know she's still mad. Peter.
That game is
Nice to work
awesome
with
as
Mr.
shit.
Superhero.
That's probably my favorite one. That or this one.
Man,
Because I'm a
it worked
sucker
out.
for anything Ultimate
Gotta
Spider-Man,
blow off
honestly.
some steam on patrol.
And Ultimate Spider-Man is so cool because it's straight up just like, hey, Brian Michael Bendis, dude who writes the book, you want to come write a video game for us? And he's like, hell yeah, I do. All right, let's go. And they like get Bendis on, and Bendis writes the book of Ultimate Spider-Man. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna write the book. I'm gonna write the game so it's canon to the book. So it's like, you know, if you're reading the book, you read these issues, and then the game starts here, and then it goes and takes place here. So it's like this whole other like Ultimate Spider-Man introduces Venom and Eddie Brock and everything.
Better go in.
And you see Eddie Brock, and then it like,
And
all right,
without
and then
further
Eddie goes
ado-
away, and then the game's like, okay, here's what Eddie's been doing for the last like year or so or whatever, and you like get to see that kind of story, and it's like expanded upon with Venom and shit, and you know, Richard and Mary Parker and everything, because it's in that game.
MJ,
Or that
I'm at the
comic
first
book
location
arc,
on
their
your
big
list,
thing.
and guess what I found?
Demons?
I will talk about that
Give
later.
the lady a prize.
But
See if you can figure out what they're
long
up
story
to
short,
while I introduce
Ultimate
myself.
Spider-Man the game is canon to the Ultimate Spider-Man book, which is really fucking cool because it's the only Spider-Man game that's at all canon to any of the comics, as far as I know, which is really fucking cool. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think Ultimate Spider-Man is technically canon, but I think almost everything in it is pretty much canon. I think Bendis eventually just like adapted the game that he wrote into Ultimate Spider-Man the book later on, which is not nearly as cool, but you know, it's basically canon. Basically, everything that happens in that game is canon. I'll stop talking about that. The game is really fun. Peter's 15 in that game, so he's like way weaker than he usually is, which is really cool. I like that about Ultimate Spidey, that like he's not even like super strong really. He's just like stronger than a regular person, but he can't like lift up a building like fucking 616 can. He's like, yeah, he's Peter Parker. He can like maybe lift up a car. Not over his head, but like, you know, he could maybe lift it up from the back. Like he's basically just like a human on adrenaline. Like just really fucking strong, like, oh shit, like survivor mode, whatever kicks in or whatever, and he's just like, yeah, fuck it. But he's just like that constantly, I guess. He's not nearly as strong, which is, you know, so you gotta like web dudes down. When you like knock them down, it's not like, oh, they're down and now they're out and we're good. It's like, oh, like, you know, I knocked that dude down, but like he's gonna get back up, so I gotta like rev him to the ground and shit. That's really cool. It gets irritating sometimes. It's so cool though. Ultimate's fun. Solid game. I really enjoy it, and you get to play as Venom in it. Like a full-on, like, half the story is about Venom. And you're, like, playing as Venom. And that's really cool. After Ultimate comes Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3's... the movie and the game. The gameplay is alright. But it is plagued by the horrible animations of that game, which are insanely funny, and the absolutely terrible voice acting, especially from Tobey Maguire, but certainly not limited to. It's a very buggy game. It's a very shitty looking game, but it plays okay. And you know, it could always be worse. So after Spider-Man 3 is that was made by Shaba, and they made Web of Shadows after that. Web of Shadows is pretty fun. The whole gimmick is like, oh yeah, you can like switch between the red suit and the black suit at the push of like the left stick. You push it, and it's like bam, new suit, and you get a new move list and everything. And it's really innovative and awesome. Nobody's ever used that feature again, as far as I know, really. It's really cool. It works really well. And the story's okay. Eventually, all the missions get down to a point where it's just like nothing but fetch quests and like MMO shit. It's like, go and defeat 10 of these kinds of enemies, and that's how you advance the story. And you're like, fucking what? Like, there's no side missions at all in that game. And it's so weird. Oh, I didn't talk about this, but Ultimate Spider-Man has the same thing from Spider-Man 2000 that I really liked, where it's like filled with characters from the Marvel Universe and everything. There's like a whole ass mission where you fight Wolverine as Venom. You like throw his bike through a bar and you gotta like fight him. It's so cool. When you're playing as Spidey, you like you run into Human Torch and he's like, all right, let's race around Queens, and you're like, what is this? And then you race him and you beat him, and it's really funny because like Peter's an asshole and he's just like making fun of him the whole time. And you're like, yeah, you come to the Baxter building whenever, and you can like do Human Torch races, and they get really difficult as the game moves on. But back to Web of Shadows. Web of Shadows is fine. The movement is really good in Web of Shadows. There's a lot of like room for creativity and stuff. There's a very high skill gap or skill ceiling. Fuck, very high skill ceiling. You can get really goddamn good at that game, and you can get really creative with how like awesome everything can be. And the web strike moves in that is so cool because you just like web a dude and you'll go on him. That's a web strike now. That's a web strike in like every game that yoink and then pull and punch, like, and it's not nearly as cool. In Web of Shadows, you'd like pull over it and you'd like land on top of the dude and you'd like jump off of him and then spring into the air, and you could like chain them together, so you'd end up like taking down like 20 dudes and never even like touching the ground. It was so cool. And they never brought it back. I don't know why, because it's such an awesome move. And they made it a whole thing in that game that you'd have ground combat and you'd have air combat, and you'd have like wall combat where you'd like fight dudes on the side of a wall and shit. Because the main villains in that game were like symbiotes. But I don't like symbiotes, so I don't give a shit. But all the stuff like pre-symbiote invasion city thing, really fun. The vulture fight especially. I remember being in like first grade and watching that like snippet gameplay thingy like a million times because it got released like as like a preview thing of the game as like advertisement and shit. The voice acting's bad. Like, just straight up like bad. I don't know who the fuck they got for Spider-Man, but he's... I do not like his voice very much. I'm, like, nostalgic for it because, you know, I played it as a kid. But, like, if I'm looking back on it, and it's not like, oh, like, he's the Web of Shadows guy, I would have never cast him, and I didn't like him.
MJ, call the police. I've got the place secured.
So Web of Shadows comes out.
Nice job. Anytime we can
After
get
that
guns
is
off the
Shattered
street, it's a win.
Dimensions, I think. Shattered Dimensions is cool. They went away from open world finally for the first time in like since Spider-Man 2002. And this was the first time anybody had ever done Spider-Verse stuff, which is really cool. The game was written by Dan Slott. I don't know if it's canon to 616.
Oh, sorry, my
but
bus
it does
broke
star
down and there were no
616 Spidey.
But I'll be there as soon as I can.
It's got 616 Spidey. It's got Ultimate Spider-Man, and it's got 2099 Spider-Man, and it's got Noir Spider-Man. And all of them are really cool. And I love that they got, for that game, they got all of, like, the old Spider-Man voice actors to come back. Man. So you got the dude from, like, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends is the voice of 2099 Spidey. Christopher Daniel Barnes from Spider-Man the Animated Series in, like, the 90s was Spider-Man Noir. Neil Patrick Harris from the MTV Spider-Man the New Animated Series
That's Miles' mom.
is
Hello?
the 616 Spider-Man, and he's really good. I don't like his voice at all in Spider-Man the New Animated Series because he does a weird voice thing
Glad to.
where he's like,
And please call me
I'm
Peter.
Neil Patrick Harris, I'm with
Mr.
Spider-Man.
Parker
And
is
it was like this
probably
weird, like,
someone
fucking,
more
like, what is he
together than
doing?
me.
But in this game, he doesn't do any of the voice shit or whatever. He just sounds like Neil Patrick Harris, which is a million times better. Because Neil Patrick Harris just sounds like a really good Spider-Man. He's really good. And then Ultimate is voiced by Josh Keaton from Spectacular Spider-Man, who is by far my favorite Spider-Man voice actor. I think he's great. Yuri Lowenthal's pretty good in this, but he's just not Josh Keaton. And it really sucks because Josh Keaton is in this game and he voices Electro, and I don't know why they didn't just get him, because he's the best one. I don't know.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
Morning, Parker. Or is it evening? That doesn't matter.
So Shattered Dimensions comes out, and it's
Check
like,
the
oh
neurosensors,
yeah,
would
every
you?
letter
We need a
or every
faster
level
response time.
is
On
like
it.
linear,
Try to get it under 3 milliseconds.
and they're each like you get like
This is it,
I think
Peter.
3 or 4 missions. No, 3
The
missions.
neural interface will put Octavius Industries on the
Yeah,
map.
3 missions per
Doc loves
dimension.
these things. Used them in grad school when he had to manipulate radioactive isotopes.
3 missions per
Seeing them
dimension,
keeps him humble.
and you get 4 different dimensions. So you get 12 missions like in total, and it's like every mission you get a new villain, and they're like big missions. So you like fight a bunch of
Gonna
stuff,
miss
and then
that
at the end you
humorous
fight the
grimace.
villain or whatever. And it's really cool because it's like you fight a bunch of really interesting villains and everything. So like 616 is like you fight Kraven, Sandman, and Juggernaut. Silver Sable's in the Juggernaut level.
Sorry I let you down, Doc.
Ultimate, you fight Electro, Deadpool, and Carnage. Noir, you fight Vulture, Hammerhead, and Green
We need to run
Goblin.
a safety check, Doc?
It's been run
And
and rerun.
2099, you
No foul
fight.
ups this time, Peter.
I think it's Dr. Octopus you fight in 2099. You fight Hobgoblin, and you fight who else? There's one other. I can't recall who it is. But yeah,
Okay, looks like I could optimize this
Shattered
power relay.
Dimensions, 2099 levels. Shattered Dimensions is really cool though. And all the Spideys we like play different, which is really cool. So like, all right, so yeah, you fought Hammer and Hobgoblin. Yeah, Hobgoblin was 2099. Scorpion 2099. I would not have guessed that. Scorpion sucks. Everybody sucks.
Nice.
2099 is
Okay, what next?
But they all play different and everything, and Spidey 2099 has like his like free fall segment things where he's like
Looks
in
like
the
some
elevator
impedance in
shaft
this
or whatever.
neurosensor circuit.
No, that's in Edge of Time. Anyways, but you gotta like dive and dodge debris. Those are really fun,
Finished.
and they're just like small like mini game segment things. Ultimate gets the symbiote in this because he's
Signal
like
to noise
weaker
is out of whack.
and not as strong as
Signal
616, which
processor
was
should reduce
established
lag.
in the Ultimate discussion. But he gets like the symbiote, so he's got all his like crazy symbiote attacks, and the symbiote looks awesome because it's Ultimate Universe, so it's like purple. because the purple tint and shit, all the purple highlights on the suit
Doc.
look
2.8
amazing.
Good work, Peter.
And Amazing gets all his like the 616 gets all like the web attacks and everything, and those are really cool. And Noir is all stealth. And I really liked it all, like the dimensions have their own art style. So like 2099 looks like crazy Blade Runner shit. 616 is like standard cell shading. Ultimate's got like a more advanced kind of cell shading to like replicate the look of like Mark Bagley's sort of art style and all the really bright orange coloring and everything. 616 looks more like a classic sort of like comic book, and then like Ultimate looks more like a modern, like colored by Justin Ponzer kind of comic book. Which, man, rest in peace, Justin Ponzer. What a talented dude that guy was. He completely established the look of Marvel for the late 2000s and the 2010s. For sure, like single-handedly, and he's just an incredible colorist. Rest in peace. There's yet to be anybody to rival his talent. He is amazing. This is a cool scene. I like this.
I'd call that a mouse.
So Shattered Dimensions comes along.
Unbelievable.
And then Noir is all like super black and white and high contrast and all that shit.
Do you need some help?
Edge of Time comes out.
Yes.
And Edge of Time is made by Beanox, again, the same studio that made Shattered Dimensions. And it's like Shattered Dimensions, but we get half of it. So like it's only 616
Doctor,
and
what's going on?
2099 instead of in this one. So there's no Ultimate.
It's become
and
that obvious.
There's no Noir.
My doctors call it a degenerative neurological disorder.
And then they changed around the voice actors for
Probably
some fucking
caused by
reason.
overexposure to
So
toxic
they get
chemicals in
the
my
ultimate voice actor
reckless
from Shattered
youth.
Dimensions to voice 616.
Sorry,
they got Josh Keaton there,
You already are.
and you get Christopher Daniel Barnes as
worst part
2099,
is
who
it
in
only
Shattered
affects the
Dimensions,
muscles.
Christopher Daniel Barnes
The mind
voiced
continues to
the
work, but
Noir dimension. So you got the
can no
Noir
longer do.
Dimensions voice actor voicing 2099, and you got
You're the only one who
Ultimate
knows, Peter.
Dimensions voice actor voicing
I'd like to keep it that
616.
way.
So that's not
course.
confusing or weird.
If you
It's a fun
like to
game,
seek a
good
position
story.
with more of a
Spider-Man
future.
dies in like the first
I
mission.
came here to work for you because of what you've got up
But
here.
it's a fun
It's
game
not going anywhere.
and good story.
So neither am I.
It's written by Peter David, I believe. So gets a thumbs up. He's a nice man. He's a good writer too.
Oh, Peter,
Edge of Time is
before I forget,
pretty derivative
I read the
of
most fascinating
Shattered
article.
Dimensions, though.
Outlines possible next steps for the neural interface.
I'll take
So
a
after
look.
that,
Thanks, Doc.
Sony's like, all right, Beanox, we're making a new
direct
Spider-Man
interface
movie.
with the
We need you to
basal
do a
ganglia.
tie-in, and then like, we don't want to do a fucking
Exciting.
tie-in, and like,
Risky.
you're doing a tie-in. And they're
I
like,
don't know, Doc. You'll need a gallium
fine,
silk
we'll do
array
a
to make it work.
tie-in,
Even then,
but
odds
it's
of
not going to
injury
be a
are pretty high.
tie-in. And they're like, if it's got, just put the same name on it and set it in the same universe. And they're like, all right. So then like, they make the Amazing Spider-Man movie tie-in game, and it's very weird because the movie tie-in game, which by the way
Doc's really
released
sick.
a week
At this rate,
before
he'll
the
lose
movie
control of
came
his motor
out,
functions within a year.
um,
If we're not careful,
takes place after the movie
intracranial implant
ending.
could make things
So
even
like,
worse.
the movie happens,
alter his
and then you play the
personality.
game,
We need to proceed
Uh,
carefully.
and then the second movie happens, and it's so it's so
Doc,
confusing.
I'm sorry. My aunt just texted.
But the game takes place after the movie, which you're releasing the game before the movie comes out, which is, first off, weird as hell anyways. And second, don't release the game that takes place after the movie before the movie even comes out. But I didn't give a shit because I was fucking like 10 years old or whatever. And that's open world, and Beanox clearly doesn't know what to do with an open world because it's empty as shit and it doesn't look very good.
Not getting much coverage. I should look for
So
more
the story's
towers to
alright.
activate.
It goes into it dives deep into cross species genetics, which I don't give a shit about really. just like all the genetic
May.
stuff I didn't like
Let me
really.
guess.
Super like biologically
Nope, I'm
focused
actually
and
on
shit.
my way now.
You fight a
Have
bunch
you
of
heard
cross
from
species
Miles?
villains.
No, but his mother said
So
he was
there's like a
coming,
cross
so...
species rhino,
Good.
which doesn't
I'll
make
be
any
there
sense
soon.
because Rhino's in the Amazing
Bye.
Spider-Man 2 and he's not a cross species. He's just Paul Giamatti. That's another thing. They jumped the gun on a lot of the villains and stuff, which the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie then goes into like completely overwrite and fuck them over. So like Alistair Smythe is in this game, and he dies at the end of it. And then Alistair Smythe is
again, Miss
in
Morales.
The Amazing Spider-Man
I'm
2.
really
He's
glad
played by
Miles can help out
fucking
at
BJ
Beast.
Novak for some
Shelter
reason.
needs more people like you.
He was very clearly not the model for the first games or the first movie's game. Rhino's in the first movie game.
What are you doing here?
And nothing like how he is in the movie. I'm gonna be quiet because I really love this scene.
Whoa, we got a fighter. You just made your last mistake, punk. What the?
Does it seriously take this many guys to rob a teenager?
Holy shit, that man's dead. I just whirled a manhole cover at that man. Full force. He is dead. There's no questioning that. Did he get up? Fucker did. Fucker got up. Get him out of here. Oh, he's still up. Stay down, chump. What the fuck was that? Get him out of here. Oh, he's dead. Hey. Hey. I'm gonna be quiet again.
You heard?
This is the best scene in the game. Or second best.
You're Spider-Man. You're the amazing Spider-Man. You're the spectacular Spider-Man.
And a few other choice adjectives Jameson uses. Look, that was really brave. But next time, leave the fighting to the pros. Okay?
Okay, but what if there aren't any around?
Well, you can't just go swinging at someone
Gary
twice your
Lowenthal
size. I mean, don't get me
and
wrong.
Najee
I fight
Jeter
guys stronger than me all the time.
are
But when I do it, I have...
Oh, like that
fucking
time you fought
nailing it
Rhino
in
on the
this
Brooklyn
scene.
Bridge? That was so awesome.
Perfect example. If the other guy's bigger, you gotta be quicker. Okay?
Okay, but that's easy for you to say. Sorry, I just can't do what you do.
God. He's so good.
All right, put him up.
Seriously?
Yeah, come on.
The music is so... I love this. I love this scene
First
so
thing.
much.
Don't let the adrenaline get to you. Breathe slow. Breathe deep. Relax. Hip square to your opponent. Let them make the first move. Now use your feet. When they go off balance, look for an opening. Boom.
Like that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Only this time, just let me have it. Right on the jaw. Okay? I can...
Oh, sorry.
No, no. No. It's all good. You keep that up and, you'll be fine. All right. Lesson's over. Gotta go.
Hey, thanks. You know.
Anytime.
I love that. That's amazing. I gotta play as Miles now. Fuck, I gotta play as Miles. God damn it. I hate playing as these fucking normal people in this game. Just let me play as Spider-Man. I'm coming up on the hour thing anyway. Oh, I'm really gonna end this.
You're not gonna believe
fucking
this. I just met
Miles
Spider-Man.
What? That's crazy. Hey, did you show him our hacking app?
I can't believe you told him that. Yeah.
I totally forgot.
Yeah, sorry.
Sucks. And then we'd be like famous.
I don't know why they
I'll show
didn't
him
name
next
him Genki, because it's
go.
clearly Genki, but...
Cool. Later.
Later, friend. What the fuck?
You're kidding me. It's gonna take forever. That drone wasn't watching. I could jump the fence. Wow, that was too easy.
Fuck your air hogs, bitch.
I can't believe Sable systems are unsecured. Maybe I'll send an anonymous tip. Okay, hacking app.
Dude, I can.
Fail me now. Okay, time to move.
Whoa! What the fuck? Ah, no, they were looking at the funny sign. That is bullshit. So where was I going? Oh, so, yeah, then the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game comes out, and it's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. It looks like a fan game. I fully believe somebody could have made it. Like a 3-person team could have built that game.
Let's see.
You know, in several months, and
left,
like.
Over the scaffolding
I used to think, like, you know, I was in like 6th grade and that game came out. I thought it was awesome and it was really fun. I look back on the footage back then, and it's not even just like bad. It's not even just a bad game. It's like, it's embarrassing. It's like embarrassing how like empty the city looks. How like unfinished the shit looks. Like, it's embarrassing how every alternate costume in that game, of which there are maybe 10, are all reused models from previous games Beanox has done of Spidey. So, like, they didn't even, like, do original costumes. Every single one of them is, like, imported from another game they did. So there's, like, the black suit from, Edge of Time, it's an alternate costume thing, which isn't even the symbiote, by the way. It's like a fabric black suit that he gets later on in the comics from a Black Cat ship.
Hi, honey. Did you make it to the feast shelter?
But like,
okay?
the Iron Spiders from I think Shattered Dimensions. You know, the 2099 suit from Shattered Dimensions and the one suit from Shattered Dimensions.
Yeah, and I chose this over more therapy. I
mean, you don't
it was
even
helpful.
get any of the Amazing suits or any of the 616 suits or anything. You don't get any of the classic suits. It's just like the TASM 1 and the TASM 2 suit, and those shitty ones, and it's just like, it's so garbage. It's so garbage. It's like embarrassingly empty, and it's New York.
I gotta go.
So it's
I'll
like,
call you on my way home.
What the fuck are you doing, man? Like, what the fuck? It's so. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 game is awful, and it takes place. It's like. The story of that game is supposed to be like taking place like during the duration of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie. It's like what they usually do with tie-in games, where it's like, here's the movie with a little extra.
Dead demon faces.
And the main villain of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is Electro, with Green Goblin at the end. Electro's in one mission of the game, and never addressed after that. And it's halfway through the game. Green Goblin is in one mission, very rarely addressed.
You know what? Everybody loves coffee.
Coffee, all right.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 game
and I'll be back in a little while to check on you. Is that cool?
The main villain of that game is Kingpin.
Oh, don't worry about Mr. Hodges.
And they don't even do anything interesting with him at all.
You sure?
You talk to Kingpin at parties with optional dialogue that makes no fucking difference because it's all just a sham.
Coffee? Thanks.
And they don't even write their own dialogue. It's literally like,
need help?
We need dialogue for Spider-Man to say quips to Kingpin. And they're like, all right, let's just literally steal like word for word lines written by Bendis in Ultimate Spider-Man. And they just straight up plagiarize that shit. It's not even like... It's not even like oh cool, they're homaging Ultimate Spider-Man because that with that one line. It's like, no, it's like it's straight up just like stealing. It's not even like an homage thing.
We have a couple of CRTs at school. I know how to fix these when they're...
What? No,
and the fucking voice actor for Spider-Man in those games is also terrible. I can't stand him. Everything he says just pisses me off. Just like how he sounds like. I know Spider-Man's supposed to be irritating, like in like the context of the comics and the movies and the games and all that shit, but like, don't make him actually fucking irritating to your like audience.
To pour in for Officer Jefferson Davis, the hero killed in the City Hall bombing, as reports emerged that he used his own body to shield others in his last.
In the Amazing Spider-Man games, he sounds like a fucking Ninja Turtle.
I'm empty here.
Fuck him.
hero. Man didn't do nothing heroic except get himself blown up.
Hey, Ernie. I see you've met Miles. He's gonna be helping out around here. You may have heard of his father, Jefferson Davis. Pretty great that even though he's got a lot of stuff going on right now, he decided to come and volunteer. Don't you think?
Yeah. Thanks. Listen, kid, I'm sorry about your dad.
Come on, Miles. Let's see if Aunt May needs a hand in the kitchen.
Peter handled that really well. I like that. I like that he didn't get confrontational or anything, but he's like,
"Hey, May.
Hey, back
I
off,
gotta take
dude."
off,
Like,
but brought some help for you.
Hi, Miles. Nice to see you. Well, grab an apron, wash your hands, and I'll show you around.
Hey, Peter. Thanks for that back there.
Of course. Almost noon. Sable should be moving Dr. Michaels. Better get to the Bowery and locate him.
rank every Spider-Man movie in 1 minute. Go. Oh shit! I'm just now seeing this. Sorry, Volley. I did this on Letterboxd actually. I'll pull up my ranking and see if it still holds up well. Because I just watched Spider-Verse again today, and I might rank that higher, but I don't know. I pull up my list. Got alright. Number 1, Spider-Man Homecoming. I think Spider-Man Homecoming is a fantastic movie, and it is definitely my personal favorite, if maybe not the best. I think it is my favorite one because I connect with that movie more than the others, I think. And just as a 15-year-old seeing that movie, it felt very real and very personal and close to my high school experience, so I really appreciate that. It's also just a really awesome movie, really fun, and just a good time. And it's just balances comedy and very serious moments and stuff really well without going too far into either of them. Number 2, I've got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's an absolute work of art. I think that's the technically best made Spider-Man movie. It's just so well made, and every frame of that movie is a fucking comic book panel. You can pause that movie at any point and it looks like a fucking comic book panel. It's so clearly made, not just with the love of Spider-Man as a character, but just comics as a medium. So much that they begin the movie with the approval of the Comics Code Authority, which I audibly laughed out loud at when they pulled that up in the fucking theater.
Hey, Yuri, I'm heading to the Bowery to make sure Michaels gets to his new safe house.
After that, I got
safely.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Silver Sable made it clear
That's kind of controversial.
Yeah,
I really like The
what you
Amazing
gonna do,
Spider-Man.
shoot me?
I really like Andrew Garfield.
Honestly,
I really like
50-50
Emma Stone. I really like Mark Webb.
Fine.
I've talked
in
about
the
this
neighborhood,
before.
but not too close. Just in
So
case.
yeah, Amazing Spider-Man is my number 3. Number 4, I have Spider-Man Far From Home. I really like Spider-Man Far From Home. I don't like it as much as Homecoming. I think Homecoming is a technically much better made film, but Far From Home's highs I think are much better than Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home's highs are pretty fucking high. I think debatably higher than Homecome's highs.
Here's your stuff.
But Spider-Man Far From Home's lows are also pretty low, I think. It's got some real stupid scenes in it, honestly. If I'm being honest, there's some real dumb shit in that movie. But there's also a lot of amazing shit in that movie that I can, easily excuse, this weird bus scene that's kind of dumb. And, just, weird subplots and not super in-depth analysis of its, supporting cast. And not much for Aunt May to do, really. Which kind of sucks. But I do really like Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. He's a very fun guy to watch on screen. He's very charismatic. Tom Holland is also really freaking good as Spider-Man. He brings his A game. Fucking John Watts, the director. Dude, Spider-Man Homecoming, he clearly made small scale because he's like, I've never really made a big movie. I'm keeping it small scale, so I can like still do my thing well because I don't know how to handle a lot of big action scenes. And holy shit, John Watts steps up his game big time for Far From Home. The script was definitely not nearly as tight as Homecoming's, but John Watts, dude stepped his game up big time. The action scenes in Far From Home are fucking nuts. The illusion scene with Mysterio is insanely awesome. I can't believe we like saw that in the movie. It's so trippy and crazy. This is not
you know,
in 1 minute.
Global pandemic, end of the world, that kind of thing.
Far From Home is just so cool. I wish we saw more. I wish we spent more time in New York. The first act is very rushed, and the like extended edition thing they had in theaters is much better. They should not have cut out Peter's to-do list. Other than that, I really like it. I think it's really well made. Him going to Europe, I wouldn't have done it, but it works. After Spider-Man Far From Home, we have Spider-Man 2002, the first one by Sam Raimi. I like that more than Spider-Man 2. Over the years, my opinion on those has changed. I always have held Spider-Man really close, like the first movie, very close. It's one of the first movies I've probably ever seen in my life, and you know, it's always fun. Sam Raimi clearly loves this character. He does a great job with everything he does. Tobey Maguire services the script fine. I don't think he brings very much to his role, but you know, Tobey Maguire is fine. The suit looks really good, especially for its time.
Ooh, coward to solve a helpless person like that.
I never had to sit and anticipate that because I was fucking 1 year old. I was a fucking 1-year-old child when this movie came out, but I have to imagine the sheer fear of like comic book fans of being like, how many we've gotten like only so many comic book movies, and when it comes to like every one of them in the last 10 or 15 years has like taken a comic book suit and made it black and shiny and like fucking leather, like X-Men and Blade and shit. So I can't imagine the relief of them like seeing the Spider-Man suit for the first time and being like, oh, thank God it's not fucking black leather. Like, oh, it's like the suit, like from the book. The eyes are weird, but like it's the suit, like that's Spider-Man. That's really cool. Willem Dafoe is fantastic as the Green Goblin. He clearly loves every second he's like spending in that movie. He's so fun to watch. He's just a great actor. Great final fight too. Holy shit. They have never gone that violent with any like Spider-Man movie since then. And I'm pretty sure because Sam Raimi and company had to digitally alter blood in that movie to change it to spit, because that fight would have gotten the movie an R rating. I am not kidding. Like that fight was violent enough to earn them an R rating. So they had to like digitally alter some of the blood in that scene into like spit, because if they left it as blood, it would have been too violent for a PG-13. So yeah, Spider-Man 1 is really good. Mary Jane is much better in this movie.
That's a keeper.
She will definitely get worse as the movies go on, but in the first movie, she's pretty good. And Kirsten Dunst is fine. I think Kirsten Dunst's fault that her character is very meh.
Okay, the people in the top floor.
So after Spider-Man 2003, we've got Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is ranked at 6th place. That is very controversial, I know, but over the years and just like personal experience, I guess, I have grown to like the movie less and less. Partially because I associate Spider-Man 2 with people harassing me and my friends on Twitter. Partially because I've just like grown older and I don't like it as much because of how the characters act. They just like hit. They just strike some nerves that I don't really like. And you know that's kind of my fault, but like technically it's a really well-made movie. It's a very like well-made movie, and it balances its themes really well. Yeah, as I'm looking back on it, I probably would move that up to 5. I'd probably switch 1 and 2. I don't dislike any of these movies, by the way. Or I don't not enjoy any of these movies.
No need to thank me, stable dudes. Although it's kind of rude you didn't.
Spider-Man 2 is really good when it comes to tackling its like responsibilities and themes and all that shit. Doc Ock's a really good villain. Raimi brings his A game for sure. All the cinematography in that, and just like the DP is definitely better. They got a new guy. They got Bill Pope for Spider-Man 2. I don't remember who they had for the first one, but it had a really weird orange tint that like Terminator 3 has. But Spider-Man 2 looks much better, just visually. I don't like Peter Parker is a douche in that movie, and he's way too wishy-washy, I think, and it gets into like emotional manipulation shit with him and MJ. It's just really, I've talked about this in my first one, my part 1, I think. Just how like Peter Parker like fucking gaslights Mary Jane and shit, and she's shitty back. So like, you know, they're both just not good people. At the end of the day, I'm just not rooting for them really. After Spider-Man 2, I have Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 is a big mixed bag. Played with studio interference. Topher Grace is Eddie Brock.
Doc left word.
Is nothing like Eddie Brock, and I kind of think that's a good thing because I don't like Eddie Brock in the comics. So making him like a dark mirror of Peter Parker that like cheated his way to the top. That's an interesting idea, and I like what they were doing there.
I promise you, though.
It's just way too crowded. Mary Jane sucks in this movie and straight up like cheats on Peter. Shitty thing to do. Peter is selfish and an idiot in this movie. Tobey Maguire refused to work out for Spider-Man 3, and they had to like CG on like pecs and abs and stuff in a couple scenes. Very weird. James Franco is unimaginably bad in that movie. Just some of the weirdest fucking lines and like just deliveries. It's so shit. I don't know what he was doing. What's his face? Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman is pitch perfect casting, and he's fantastic as Sandman. He's great. I'm just running around right now because I don't want to start this next mission. Because I'm gonna end my parts when I'm finished with this ranking. Yeah, Thomas Hayden Church is fantastic as Sandman. Other than that, it's just kind of disappointing. I know Raimi wanted to make better, and I wish he had made better. I know he can. Last place, we have The Amazing Spider-Man 2. You're kidding yourself if it's anything else than that, honestly. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 isn't just a bad movie, it's a frustratingly bad movie too. Because like, not only is it horrendous, not only is it terribly written, not only is it filled with way more studio interference than Spider-Man 3, but everybody involved in that movie is insanely talented. Andrew Garfield is he's an incredible actor. Emma Stone is also a fantastic actress. Mark Webb is a super talented director, and he can direct actors, I think, like nobody else. The writers are solid. The CGI is still unmatched.
That's it, huh?
It's fucking amazing effects in that movie. What the fuck did I just do to that guy? The soundtrack's pretty good. everybody's so skilled at their job, and it's like, it pisses me off even more that like all of these amazing people will come together and make garbage, and it's so frustrating. And there's like, it's garbage, but like every so often in like the fucking back dumpster, you'll find like half a pizza that's really good. Like that's a weird metaphor, but like, you know, throughout this garbage movie, you'll find like certain scenes that are really fucking good. Like Gwen's death is really well acted and looks really good and is very sad and like genuinely gets me to tear up. There's a scene between Aunt May and Peter. It's very, very good. There's a lot of interactions between Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone are really good. All of them, actually, all interactions with Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield are very good and genuinely like sweet. The suit looks pretty good. I've grown more fond of the suit over the years, but I still don't really like it that much. Mostly because of like the emblems. I think they're fucking awful. If the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit had the Amazing Spider-Man 1 emblems on the front and the back, it would look so much better. So much better. But yeah. So that's... Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is last place for the Spider-Man. That took like 10-15 minutes to rank. It should not have. But real quick, in 1 minute, without talking about them like I did, I'll rattle them all off.
The longer the demons stay out
First place,
there,
we have
the more
Spider-Man
lives they put at
Homecoming.
risk.
Second place, we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Third place, we've got The Amazing Spider-Man. Fourth place, we have Spider-Man Far From Home. Fifth place, we have Spider-Man. Sixth place, we have Spider-Man 2. Seventh place, we have Spider-Man 3. And eighth place, we have The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I hope that covers everything. Thank you for watching. We will pick up at this mission next time. And that'll be it. So thank you guys for watching. And good night. How do I stop broadcasting? There it is.